What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to the Suit Up Geek Fix podcast. Welcome to our episode 6 review of The Wheel of Time. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you love The Wheel of Time, and I know you do. Today, we are breaking down our impressions, our grades, and kind of like the best moments and takeaways from everything of the Flame of Tar Valon. I think I said that right. Again, we are not book readers here. We are.
Is that the name of the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. And we are not book readers, so we are not going to give you any book spoilers. If you're watching us live, don't give any book spoilers. We are reacting as show-only lovers. So to help me break it down, I've got the man, the myth, the legend. He is Christian at Film Optics, the Film Optics podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Music City Nerd. What's going on, man?
No, you're good, man. Hello, what's going on? It's the weekend. We're here. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me back on. Fun little fact: 10 most popular streaming shows / movies from the week of December 1st to December 7th per the Real Good app. Wheel of Time falls at number 1. Number 4. My bad. Number 1 is Hawkeye. Number 2 is Yellowstone. Number 3 is Power of the Dog. 4 is The Wheel of Time.
Cool.
And 5 is Red Notice.
Nice.
Kind of hurts my soul, but that's fine.
All right. Let's jump right in. Just general impressions. First, I'm absolutely hooked with the show. If you've been watching our reviews, I was pretty much sold after episode 4. I thought the political intrigue with the White Tower and just that day in the life of Moraine was what this episode was all about. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Very strong episode. I thought the writing really shined here, especially the beginning behind that like stunning score, which I think was new to this week. There was an amazing like new score that I was just encapsulated with. I thought the acting was top notch, which isn't really surprising considering Rosamund Pike took center stage this week. I thought the White Tower shots were really clean. They were really beautiful. There was like this pageantry of the Aes Sedai that made them look like royalty rather than witches, which I love jumping into what like all the different factions and different things about the Aes Sedai. That was really fun. And I thought it was just really cool to kind of see Moraine turn her punishment to like exactly what she needs to continue what she's got going on. So for me, this first season is 100% laying the foundation for one of the best high fantasy TV shows I have ever seen. I'm just blown away by this show. I am like so invested, and I know where this is going. The action was dialed down this week. We are in for 2 amazing episodes coming here to finish this season 1. What was your general impressions?
My impressions pretty much echo yours. It's been a hell of a ride, to be honest. This episode, it was very dialogue heavy. Like we said, they kind of dialed back on the action. He's like, you know what? That's okay, because not every single episode needs to have action in it. Hawkeye.
I was waiting for that drop.
But yeah, overall, a day in the life of Moraine, just trying to understand where she's coming from and kind of her backstory. What is it like for her as almost essentially like a typical day in the life, like we said. But it's the dialogue that the conversations that happened this time around have been very it's just been great so far. We find this few little dark secrets in there, but it's she craftily is able now to go freely because of like the connections that she has. Very just very Slytherin-esque of her, very cunning of her, if you will. But yeah, overall, everyone's kind of back together again. And like I'm sure we'll talk about the cliffhanger at the end, but it's shaping up to be pretty freaking good. Like I'm really enjoying myself. Like I was very curious to see what this week's episode was going to bring. I was like, okay, there's no way they can top last week's. And I'm like, no, there's no action like we said, but it's all about the conversations and just learning more and more about this world.
Yeah, let's touch a little bit more about Moraine, because this episode was all about Moraine and her just going like sequence to sequence. It was really kind of neat to kind of see finally see her like hair let down a little bit and
Mm.
just be herself. Like we actually saw Moraine smile a little bit. That was pretty interesting because she's been like stone cold serious, through the first 5 episodes here. I thought it was pretty interesting how like we learned that the dragon reborn prophecy is like a legit secret among like all the witches, all the Aes Sedai. Like she is, not telling anybody about her plans whatsoever. In previous episodes, man, I said that Moraine's going to be my favorite character in the show, and I thought this episode cemented it. I don't know where this show is moving forward with Moraine, but she's just awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love that like comment. I loved her command in this episode. There was a moment where Nanai, I think, she like literally confronts Nanai. What did she say? She said, "If wisdom is the title you claim,
Oh yeah,
you start using some."
she
And
dropped that burn. I was
I
like,
was
ooh,
love it.
that's a
I was like,
Moraine burn.
was-
That's
I
Aes Sedai burn.
I was waiting for her to be like, "You fool of a toque" or something.
Yeah.
Along those lines. Just, what were your general thoughts on Moraine? Because I thought her acting was, the last 2 episodes have been unbelievable. But any general thoughts on Moraine and Rosamund Pike?
Yeah. So yeah, for it being Rosamund Pike, and I've honestly I didn't know how much ever she was gonna put into the show. Because it's kind of like, it's like, okay, it's Wheel of Time. Oh, it's based off a book series. Okay. And it's like, oh, Rosamund Pike, and it's like, oh, okay. Like I think she has done a fantastic job this episode. We see more human side of her, to be completely honest. This entire episode kind of humanizes her in a specific way. She's not just this all-knowing type of, protector, like Aes Sedai type person. Like she excuse me, she doesn't know who the Dragon Reborn. I almost said Dragonborn again. I'm sorry. Every time, but she doesn't know who the Dragon Reborn is at all, and it's kind of okay not to know. She doesn't have all the answers. She's kind of throwing. She's taking a survey right now. Like, oh, like you're within this age range. Check. You're able to channel magic. Check. Whatnot. So I think she's been doing a fantastic job, and she's definitely probably she's always been one of my favorites, but I think this kind of solidified her as my favorite character because was it 90? The one,
Yeah, 90.
the older one
Mhm.
between the 4. She was a bit of a sickler this episode, but I guess rightfully so.
She's like the mother bear. She's like the mother bear of the 2 rivers. Like,
yeah,
she's gonna protect her family, no question. No question.
yeah, and like you see with Moraine, like she's not just out. Like, yeah, she has an agenda, but she just start to care for these characters in a different way. Because she even says, when I first met you guys, I didn't trust you, and it's like, oh, well, all right, well, that's kind of fair. We just met. Trust is belt. It's earned, not given. So. Yeah, I think Moraine's been doing Rosamund Pike rather has been doing a fantastic job as Moraine.
I thought she followed that quote up pretty well too. Like, because this is a character that clearly doesn't trust anyone. The only one she trusts was what's her name?
The president of the
the mother.
The mother Aes Sedai.
What is her name? I'm drawing a blank.
It was something easy.
Yeah.
And I just can't remember.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm drawing a blank. We're just show watchers here. But she said, like, I just got to know you. I didn't trust you. And then she followed that up with like, well, I got to know you. And she never said, I trust you. Like, she doesn't trust anyone besides like her and Lan. That's it. That's the only people in this world she clearly trusts. So that was really, really cool. It was really fun to kind of shine some light on Moraine's character. But let's jump right into the cliffhanger, which was kind of like probably what everyone's really talking about here. Clearly, the gang is back and shit is about to go down here. I have no idea where this gang is headed. I imagine it's some sort of version of like Mount Doom. If I had to make a guess here. So I thought the ending was a very necessary setup episode for everything to come with these last 2 episodes. We kind of got to see why all of this with Moraine started and how she's been planning this the whole time, which is really, really cool. She got the gang back together. We already talked about Moraine. Like, she's clearly the spy master. That it was kind of neat to see her like pull all these strings to finally come together here at the very end, where they went into the ways. I think I'm getting that right.
I think so. Yeah, that portal they went into.
The ways, something along those lines.
Sure.
But I think the big discussion here was Matt deciding to stay. Was pretty shocking. I did not expect that. Matt kind of missed the trip, and that kind of leads into the question: does that mean he's not the Dragon Reborn? Can we like cross him off the list? I think we kind of touched on it a little bit before. We know that Matt is not going to be, Matt will be recast in season 2.
Will he?
Yeah. So I wonder if that's related to these final 2 episodes, and if this shot was like added at the end just to kind of like support that a little bit. So what was your thoughts on the cliffhanger here in episode 6?
Well, first off, I didn't know Matt was being yes, Tyler, bend the knee for Moraine, 100%. 100%. She is the new Khaleesi. I didn't know Matt was being recast.
Yeah, and he's been I thought he had a really great moment in this episode when he got the dark magic like removed from Moraine.
Yeah.
So he's back. He
kind of. I mean, he is, but now he's like, now he's kind of like, I think I've had enough of all of this.
Yeah.
But the cliffhanger, it looks like Moraine was expecting him to kind of hang back.
You think so?
Because like she kind of looked at him, like she gave him that look, and she's like, I knew it. Like, there's at least one big doubter out of this survey of five people. But I really like how they ended it, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, for some reason I thought this was episode 7. I was like, this can't be the penultimate episode. I'm like this seems a bit too rushed. And then I'm like, okay, it's episode 6, which makes more sense. I was like, I came home, I recorded an episode, and then I watched episode 6 thinking it was episode 7. But between that and Hawkeye, I'm getting everything all jumbled up. But yeah, I really did like the cliffhanger. It was kind of like, like we're going to trying to finish this off now, which obviously isn't going to happen considering we're getting 2 more seasons. But the question is, like, what happens? Like, what happens to kind of intervene that? So I like how they kind of, they send the horses away. So that was like, no, it's a nice kind of little moment. But then they're like, like all of their faith and like their trust is kind of put inside Moraine's hands right now. She's like, well, there is no turning back. It's one of you. I need all of you to come with me, because I don't know who the fuck the Dragon Reborn is. So I really liked it. It's they're calling out for Matt, and he's kind of just standing there, and right before you said, like he was like, is it too late to turn back? And it's like, well, why would you turn back? Like, Two Rivers it's not what it once was. I mean, I understand, he wants to go back to his sisters, but like for how long? Like he can live like a little longer before like shit hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't know what his like thought process is. Maybe he's just kind of tired of the dagger, because Moraine calls him stupid for having it. And it's like, oh my god, the ginger kid, I'm sorry, he was
Rand.
like, oh yeah, the Rand's like, oh, he's like, it's just a fever. I'm like, bro, that is not a fucking fever. Like, this man's skin is like a palish blue, like with all these like black veins. I'm like, you think that's a fever? I was like, Grant, come on, let's have some common sense here. But like, I did think I was wondering when Matt was going to be relieved of that dagger, because like for a lot of episodes, he's kind of just been sitting there, not sulking, but just pining and kind of, being it's kind of like the ring from Lord of the Rings. It kind of has that effects on you, or the Horcrux with Ron. So, but like this was like way worse. It's like
Uh,
this is terrible. But yeah, Tyler Chris Pratt has taken the role.
I mean, he's pretty much got everything else in Hollywood. Why
You know
not?
what's funny, Tyler? After I finished watching episode 6, The War of Tomorrow was like the next thing that was like suggested to me. And I was like, no, I don't want to see Chris Pratt in The War of Tomorrow.
I watched it. It was pretty mediocre.
I got like 20 minutes in, I turned it off. I'm like, absolutely not.
There was a plot hole that literally made me angry like halfway through. And I just was like, I'm done.
Is that based off of a book too?
I would assume so. I have no idea.
I just assume everything is nowadays.
Yeah. All right. I have a hot take, and I want to get into our power rankings of our top 3. Who is the next Dragon Reborn? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
For the top 3?
Our top 3. So has it changed at all after episode 6? Where are you at, man?
Well, we got Wolf Boy kind of like, doing his thing now. So I think he's number 3, and then it would go Egwene and then 90.
Yeah.
Is number 1.
So you're sticking with 90 at the top.
Yeah. The ginger. No.
Right,
There's no way.
Yes. Here is my take, my hot take. And I am going, my new number 1 in my power rankings is Rand. My new number 1
the ginger
for the Dragon Reborn is 100% Rand here. And why do I think that? It's because you look at every single character in the show has so much going on. You look at Egwene's got a lot going on. Perrin's got a lot going on. Matt's got a lot going on. Who am I missing? But every character has things happening to them except for Rand. Outside of episode 1 in the Two Rivers, we haven't really seen or heard a lot about Rand in this show. So I think this show is trying too hard to make him that boring candidate. In doing so, I think they are telegraphing the twist here that is going to be Rand as the Dragon Reborn. I don't know anything about the books, bro, but I think they're purposely hiding something about Rand and purposely making him boring and as vanilla as possible while everyone else is doing things. So for me, Rand is my new number 1. I think it's going to be him, and they're going to have that like twist, like aha moment. But no, I saw it. It's coming. Rand is my new number 1. I know you have a reaction to that.
No, it's fine. I see what you're saying, and it actually does make sense. I don't know, because didn't she say that like couldn't it have been possible that the last Dragon Reborn would have split their soul into like 5?
Yeah,
but I really don't know. Like, it seems that everyone has a power of some sorts besides Rand, but then Matt doesn't really have any powers either, besides him stealing a dagger and it letting him possess it. But it does seem like Rand is coming more on the forefront, just like as a character, because literally up until this episode, I did not care about him.
No,
I did not care about him at all.
He's like almost insufferable.
I was like, oh no, Rand died.
All he does is like bitch about Egwene.
It was like that one Battlestar guy from Falcon and Winter Soldier, who was John Walker's, like when Carly Morgenthau like freaking tackled him into the end zone. I was like, oh damn, that dude died. Like, and like Disney tried to get me so hard to care about this side character. I was like, get out of here. That's how I feel about Rand.
I think that's purposeful.
Possibly, yeah.
So he has jumped up into my number 1. I'm number 2. I still think that it's going to be Rand looks like Hayden Christensen. He looks like the child.
He does.
Hayden Christensen and Ryan Phillippe.
He does look like Hayden Christensen a little bit. I hate them.
I'll go number 2. I think still all 5 come together eventually at the end. I think this show's been kind of boiling towards that a little bit.
I mean, that's a little too boring.
It is a little cliche. Yeah, I know. I agree.
Or it's someone else entirely that we just it's somebody else. Like we just don't know.
I'm gonna go with that too. So if so, I guess Matt is being recast. So
Mm.
he's gonna come cross paths at some point.
Do we know who he's being recasted by?
Rand will bring balance to the wheel.
He will.
Oh,
He
that's so
will.
funny. The force is strong with Rand. Anyway, yeah. So that is my number 2, and my number 3 will be 90. Yeah. Even though they said there's some comments this week that she's too old to be the Dragon Reborn. Did you see that?
But like, well, yeah, but like, what does age have to do with any of it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I mean, like you said, she's definitely like the mother bear of everything, the mama bear there. So, and she's
awesome. I love 90. Like I love how she'll like speak what's on her mind with no hesitation whatsoever. She doesn't give a shit about the Aes Sedai. She wants to be her own kind of Aes Sedai, which I really dig. I really dig her
the
character.
Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, what she did there. Yeah, and no, we didn't get any 90 and Lan interaction this week, which is kind of sad because that duo has been my favorite duo so far outside of Moraine and Lan. I love that whole trio of characters.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss that.
All right, so who's your 2 and 3, or who's your 1 and 2? I think
my 1 was still 90, and then Egwene, and then Perry. Perrin, sure. Yeah. We're slowly learning these people's names as time goes on. But
it was Swan.
Yeah.
Was the main with the daughter of the river. Yeah.
So that was okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was her during the beginning as a child. So yeah, it looks like Moraine has a bit of a secret love life as well. So
yeah, cool.
she's golden, but like I love how she told Swan that like you have to exile me because like my sisters are essentially trying to ground me here.
Yeah,
and I can't just like stay here. Like I have to go.
Yeah, so clearly there's dangers like literally everywhere. This was the first like episode. Remember we talked in the first episode, the premiere, we're like, is this the next Game of Thrones? This was the first Game of Thrones-esque kind of episode.
Very political, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of political things. We really deep dived into the Aes Sedai and all the different factions, and there's different colors, and within each different color, like they're cutthroat, man. They'll cut each other down.
I would not want to be an Aes. This is like a sorority, like times 1,000. This is like really, really bad.
Yeah,
like very like. I mean, I've like when it comes to sororities, like I mean, I was in Greek life in college, like. I saw like when it came to sororities, like it's like 30, 60 girls living in a house, but like this is like cutthroat city.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are supposed to be sisters. What is going on?
Yeah, there's clearly a lot of drama going down. Lan was shitting his pants like throughout this episode because he knew that like at any moment someone could come in and try and take Moraine down. So this was
Did she cut her like connection or like hit her connection with him at some point? She kind of like mentioned that. It was weird.
Yeah. And that I did not understand that you can like kind of like between Aes Sedai and Ward, you can kind of like hide that.
Well, no one knows that she has a ward, but it's like I mean she's been walking around with them, so like how?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe it was just that one during that one scene because I guess he can feel what she's feeling. Like he's like I can't feel you.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like a force type. I don't know. It's weird.
All right. Let's go into grades. How would you grade episode 6 of The Wheel of Time?
I would actually say this is a pretty good episode. Like, I give it like a solid like A-. Okay. Probably like a 93 out of 100.
Okay.
I guess it'd be like a 9 out of 10. There's so many different grading scales, but yeah, I would say like a 93 out of 100. I really enjoyed it. It's a slower episode, but like, there's a few things that kind of went over our heads, but overall, like, I liked it a lot. There's a nice little cliffhanger at the end, and these episodes are like an hour. Like this is like an hour and 3 minutes. It wasn't like, oh, it runs like 50 minutes. Like, no, like it was actually it was actually like an hour. But it didn't really feel that way because I was so interested in this episode, like just everything that was the ongoings and whatnot, and the political struggle and stuff. But I didn't really feel the runtime with this. So yeah, I give it like a 93 out of 100.
I agree. For an episode, I could not agree more. That for an episode with no action, really, it was fast. I thought it moved fast.
It didn't drag on at all.
I was invested. I was really interested to see what was going on with the Aes Sedai. Like, I love learning more about that. Like, we learned about like the way of the leaf. We've learned about the way of the light. Now we learned a lot more about the Aes Sedai. And what was their catchphrase? It was something like capture first, no, shield first, gentle second, kill last.
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
Really cool. I love learning about this. So the show does such a great job of like not holding your hand, but like, really letting you kind of deep dive into this world, which I love. And if this is like, because we know, many more seasons are coming. We know that like there's 14 books. So whatever happens over these next two episodes, it's not ending. Like this is only like the start of where these stories.
We better get to know who the Dragon Reborn is.
You think so?
Like we have to at least by the end of the season.
Okay.
Because it's like they've been talking about this whole time. It's the big question. It's like Zoe 101. Well, what's his face? Chad, or where the hell the guy's name? Will he actually ask out Zoe? And it's like that's the point of like the entire show. That's the point of this entire freaking season. We need to know who the Dragon Reborn is. If it's like a multitude, that's fine. But I just want to know who it is. I just want to know.
I give this a solid like 8.8 out of 10. It's not my favorite. I still think like episode 4 was my favorite. That was the episode that sold me, and I put this episode second best this season, right below that. So regardless, I think this show is terrific. If you love fantasy, high fantasy, like this show is delivering it, and it's really exciting to know that like no COVID, no shit with like visuals and CGI, like where the show could go after these next 2 episodes into season 2. So everything's being laid. Everything 100% is being laid for an amazing 2 episodes here to round out this season. Unlike, Hawkeye, which is just straight boring. And
wow,
those characters. The show has so much heart and more passion into this show. There's no question. There's just
I can't compare a high fantasy to a superhero movie. Or I'm just saying, Falcon Winter Soldier exists. It is. That's all I have to. No, it's all right. It's all. All I ask is for people just wait for the season to finish out.
Yeah.
Like just wait, because I mean, regardless of whatever the showrunners are saying for Hawkeye, like all I ask is for a fair evaluation after the season is out, because everyone's like, oh, it's so mad. I'm like, did you watch Falcon Winter Soldier? Y'all, like,
I was not high on that show either. So.
But that one was due to COVID and stuff, and unfortunately, it suffered that fate, and we'll really never know. But it had its good moments, but like, I'm liking Hawkeye a hell of a lot better.
I agree with that.
My God. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. Christian, where can we find you? What's going on with Film Optics, man?
So yeah, you can listen to our weekly podcast where we present critics and non-critics a glance into comic book movies, blockbusters, indie films, and everything in between. A wise man once said that the conversation continues after the credit, aka Griff Schiller. So join us as we talk about our love for the silver screen. We are on podcast platforms around the internet. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that jazz. What is coming up? Wow. So we just release our Hawkeye episode 4 review. So definitely check that out. And I think I mentioned this last week. We finished our Harry Potter movie series franchise that is up on the podcast as well. And we're actually starting our Matrix franchise revisited, is what we redubbed it to. Movie series review 2 franchise revisited. So that'll be up Saturday. And then, we got Matrix Reloaded we'll be doing. And of course, Spider-Man No Way Home will be dropping on December 16th. I'll also be writing, I'll be doing a written review for Spider-Man No Way Home at InSessionFilm.com. And also The King's Man, I'll be doing writing a review for InSessionFilm.com for them as well. So definitely look out for that, both of those next week. And yeah, we're closing out the year. We got Spider-Man, coming up on the podcast December 16th, like I said, and then closing out for Matrix Reloaded, Revolutions. You can find us over on Twitter at Film Optics. That is Optics with an X. For all of our announcements that will be up there. And of course, we got Matrix 4 and Don't Look Up. Kind of closing out the year with that. And I think the Book of Boba Fett. I think we're going to try to do the first episode. Okay. And then we're going to be taking about like a 2-week break for like the first 2 weeks of January and coming back when Scream 4 comes to theaters. Yeah. So that's January. Sorry. Yeah, in January. Yeah. January 14th, I think. So sorry, talked everyone's ear off.
Sorry. My man's busy. He is Music City Nerd on Twitter. Please give him a follow. And Film Optics on Twitter at Film Optics with an X. We have our Christmas draft tomorrow night. I'm so excited for watching it. My man Christian over there, he already won the draft. So he's already in the champion bracket, which will probably be in February.
I still can't believe I won that draft. I was like,
what? You go back and watch the post-game show. I literally said, Christian, this is your best draft ever.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I would have sucked during the Christmas draft. I'm telling you. It would have been bad. Man. I would not have. I wouldn't even made it past the first round. There's no way. There's no freaking way.
I have the 5th pick in tomorrow night's draft.
See, that's not a bad spot to be in.
It is a good spot. This is a top-heavy draft. I think
who's number 1?
Ryan O'Toole has the number 1 pick. Which
Ryan's gonna. Okay, nice. Ryan knows how to pick a really good team.
He's a beast. He's been in 2 drafts, and the one he won, so he's in the championship bracket. And the other one, I beat him in the finals. So he's a monster.
Who won the superhero draft? Well, was it Amanda? No, she didn't win again.
Amanda lost. I think it was Hannah. I think Hannah won.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That was a cutthroat one. Oh my god.
Yeah. So Saturday, December 11th is our Christmas movie draft. 10 teams, 5 rounds. Each team will pick 5 of their favorite Christmas movies of all time in a fantasy football snake-style draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do a live draft, and then we do a post-game show with a lot of drinking, a lot of trash talking, a lot of Christmas spirit. I'll be in full ugly sweater gear. No question.
That Hawkeye ugly sweater?
I've got the Star Wars ugly sweater.
I don't have an ugly sweater.
Really?
No, I don't. I kind of wish I had one, but I mean, here in Nashville, it doesn't get super, super cold. I wish. I mean, if I was back in my home state of Ohio, OHIO, we lost against the freaking Wolverines, but that's fine. We won against the Ravens though for the Steelers.
There you go. I was at a work Christmas party, and so I'm gonna spoil it. I have a Grogu ugly Christmas sweater. It's awesome, like Mandalorian. It's sick. And
I want one so bad.
Yeah, it's sick. And I had my Yoda ears on. It's not near here. So I have like a Yoda hat.
Yeah, you wore it last time. Yeah.
I was at my Christmas work party, and sure enough, someone comes up to me, a coworker goes, "You like the movie Shrek?"
Oh, no way.
I was like, wait.
Oh my god.
It took me like a second. I was like, wait, Shrek the ogre? No, I am Grogu
That
from
is so funny.
Mandalorian. It was so funny. I literally just
I
like
can see how someone
spit out my
doesn't
drink.
know. Yeah, who doesn't watch that? That could be an honest mistake.
That was great. It was awesome.
That's
Epic
funny.
moment. Yeah, so Saturday, December 11th, Christmas movie draft, 8 p.m. live, East Coast time. That's going to be a ton of fun. Then we've got Christian. I want you to join. We've got a Spider-Man trivia coming up,
Oh my
and
god.
I've got the best of the best. I'm telling you, I've stumped people, no joke, over these last several weeks in our trivia shows, and we're doing a Spider-Man show. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've been prepping already these last several days. These are not easy questions. Like you have to be Spider-Man ready. Your Peter Tingle has to be.
I don't think
here.
I am.
So we have an expert level Spider-Man trivia show in the works. Again, we will be doing Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home reviews on Tuesday night. The trivia will be Wednesday night. We're going to do just kind of like a preview on Wednesday night as well as Hawkeye reviews and on Wednesday. And then Thursday night next week, we have a lot of people. Christian, you're welcome to join. Just hang out and just like react. It's going to be like a 3-hour show. It's going to be it's going to be so fun. You're more than welcome to just pop in whenever. And we're just going to like, just kind of talk about whatever. Then a week from today, we're going to do like a predictions and theories type of show of like everything we learned and what it means moving forward for Spider-Man, especially now that we know like he's going to college and we're getting a lot more Marvel Sony films with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, it's much like Spider-Man PS4. We see a more established Spider-Man there. Yep. And it's a more adult, like a young adult Spider-Man. So it's as much as we love high school Peter Parker, it'd be nice to see that transition. I mean, we saw it in Sam Raimi's, but it was weird because the first one he's in high school for like 20 minutes and then he graduates. So it's I want to see a more seasoned Spider-Man, like after college graduation. Mm-hmm. Like just a post-grad Parker.
Yep. Yep. And now I want to see Peter have to overcome some sort of consequence. I think we're going to get that in No Way Home. I think we're finally going to get that moment from Spider-Man here. What do you think?
It's weird because okay, Doctor Strange said he's like, oh, all of Spider-Man's villains died by facing Spider-Man. I'm like, the Sandman did not die.
I guess
he
it's like
whisked away into the wind at the end of Spider-Man 3 for people who are like, oh yeah, you can say Doc Ock and the Green Goblin and Electro. Yeah, we got Lizard, whatnot. I was like, Sandman did not die.
Yeah,
at all.
I think the key word is like, different dimensions, right? Different.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna like really expand on that. I guess. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, Venom's supposed to be coming supposedly. So
you think it's Venom? You think he's like the last
I do not like this version of Venom. I don't. He doesn't even have his symbol, and it's like, how can you have a Venom origin movie without Spider-Man? Venom does not exist without Spider-Man. Carnage does not exist without Venom.
What I need is them to say. So there's like so many different like theories in my head of like where this could go. What I would love, is Venom does appear and Carnage comes back in a different dimension. And sorry, spoilers. And and what happens is we get Maximum Carnage, the Maximum Carnage film where Venom and Spider-Man team up to take down Carnage in a different universe. That would be awesome. Marvel's too smart not to do that. Like they have to do that story. It's literally one of the best Spider-Man stories, period. I would love to see a Miles Morales reveal. That would be, or a Spider-Woman reveal. Please. That would literally make me jump up and cry. That would be so much fun if we got that.
If we got I'm so excited for Across the Spider-Verse. I don't know which one I'm more excited for. Like I was thinking, like, am I more excited for Across the Spider-Verse? Because like that looks so good. I'm like,
I agree. I fully agree. Like, could you imagine if we got like a screen for screen live adaptation where like you see Miles on his bed at the like a post credit scene. Miles is on his bed looking up at the ceiling, and it's Tom Holland doing the same thing, but it's Miles on the other end or something. Like,
oh
hey,
my god,
I need your help to take down the Ultimate Goblin or something. That would just destroy me. I would be so happy if like they tied that together somehow. They should. They 100% should.
They
Why not?
should.
It would be great. It would be really, really fun. All right, we should end this show. we could probably this could be like a 2-hour show if I don't end this right now.
It's like this isn't Wheel of Time. I kept talking after. No, it's all good.
All right, guys. Please follow my man on Twitter at Music City Nerd and check out the Film Optics Podcast on Twitter at Film Optics Podcast and wherever you get your podcasts. For Christian and for myself, stay awesome, everyone.